7 murderers, rapists, and robbers. They've been on the run since busting out of a maximum security prison.
I decided that I was going to escape or die trying. What else do I have to lose?
They killed a police officer in a very brutal fashion.
It was all or nothing at that point forward.
Let's get that boy!
If they cornered us in Texas, they would kill us.
Come on!
You can run, but you can't hide.
Stop for here!
There's no turning back. I had accepted years ago that I belonged in prison for the crimes I committed. I believed that I had received too much time, which was 18 life sentences for the multiple robberies I committed back then. "270 calendar years before I'm eligible for parole." I looked at myself in the mirror and realized I'm either going to die alone in prison or be killed. That's the day I decided that I was going to escape. When I made up my mind, I just opened my eyes to my environment in a way that I was ignoring for years because I didn't want to think that way. Watching the strengths and weaknesses from the whole unit, top to bottom.
They're looking for the opportunity to get out of there, and it's our responsibility to keep them in. There are 3 perimeter pickets that have the armed officers. The razor wire would be about 12 foot. In addition to that, you would have 1 roving patrol vehicle that would also be armed.
I met George before the summer of 1998. For some reason, when I looked at him, I just realized that this guy here would be, he'd be a big part of my life someday. Really did. I felt that connection.
Garcia, right?
Yeah, you're Rivas, right? I seen you in the maintenance.
How you doing, brother?
I don't think I was actually thinking about escape at that time, but he was smooth, he was collective. He could sell you a pink pig. We just put our heads together and we just decided how was the best way to do it, jumping the fence or digging under the ground or the common thing was just stupid. So we had to think of a much better plan.
The Conley unit has approximately 2,850 offenders. There's a little over 500 correctional officers. You would only have a fifth of that staff there at any one given time. They're greatly outnumbered.
We believe prison officers were trained not to resist if inmates take over by force. Just obey them. Don't put up a fight.
What if we take over the whole of the maintenance shop?
I wanted my freedom. I wanted my life. I wanted to live. That's it, man.
After much discussion, our plan was using force to take over the maintenance shop.
The most important thing is the people I selected. And I spent a short while conversing with prospects.
I needed men who would follow my orders.
All right, let's go over the plan one last time, yeah?
All right, yeah.
Maintenance shop. Guardhouse, guard tower. Now we all take over the maintenance shop. After that, we divide up into 2 groups. The first group is myself, Harper, Murphy, and Newberry. We're gonna secure the guardhouse and the tower. After that, Team 2, Rodriguez, Alperin, Garcia. I want you to drive the truck out to the guardhouse, pick us up. We're gonna grab as many weapons as we can and bring it down.
So that was our plan. Objective 1, seize the maintenance shop. Objective 2, take over the guardhouse and tower. Once we had control of the tower, we could open the back gate and drive to freedom. Over the next few weeks, we were able to work out all the kinks in our plan to take over the whole maintenance shop.
Figured that as long as we took the whole thing over at lunchtime and then proceeded to take or subdue every officer that returned, we would escape from there.
We established hiding spots for the materials we needed, and we practiced takedowns.
Arm comes up, lock, takedown. Yes.
So make sure you know what you gotta do. Plain and simple.
Jesus, thank you for this food we're about to have.
The night before, we ate a big spread.
Please give us strength.
We had a prayer together.
Show us the light, so that tomorrow we may walk as free men.
We even kept our spirituality in this. You know, God was the main focal point. You know, we actually believed that God was helping us through this, that He was going to give us this. This was our blessing.
Amen.
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 Amen. Amen.
Toast to freedom, gentlemen.
Oh, to freedom.
To freedom.
Freedom.
I stretched, then I got ready for bed and laid down early and tried to get all the sleep I could that night. On and off. It's just nervous. You know, I keep waking up, and of course I had to escape on my mind. And it just continued throughout the night.
The next morning, I felt at peace. I got enough sleep. I was restful. This is going to happen. You know, we have to do it.
5:36 in the morning, got up. I was still scared and nervous because today we're going to leave.
When they called breakfast time, I got up to get ready, but I didn't go to breakfast because I felt I couldn't eat at the time.
We were waiting for that 11 o'clock hour where it was time to go to lunch and just biding our time.
The other men, they all look like deers caught in headlights. Their eyes are all huge. I imagine mine were too.
Lunchtime, guys. Move it.
We'll stay behind and seal the floor in the machine room.
Sounds good.
One way or the other is going to be over that day. It's hard to explain, really, but I was going to escape or die trying.
Hey, boss.
You guys done yet?
Pretty much.
George tells Muchigamba, hey, can you help us? We got a problem back here with the electric room.
I told him, when you see me lay hands on the first officer, there's no turning back. It was all or nothing at that point forward.
Guys, get out! Guys!
He's a big man. They have trouble with them. So I run back there.
He fought us. All 7 of us.
Rodriguez hits him upside the head.
settled down after that.
So we tied him up and took him back to the electrical room.
At this point now, it's just waiting for the other officers to come back.
Hey guys, we got a problem with this motor. We need some help to move it.
2, 3, a couple of times, 4 at a time. Standing order for the day was
just take him down. They just kept coming back. Adrenaline was going.
At one time, I think we had 4 of these matches going on.
And that's a lot of guys to take down at one time.
Different employees reacted different ways.
And there was a couple of instances that could have easily lost control in the situation.
Several of them were stripped of some of their clothes.
It was very exhausting. It went on for a long time. We were fighting for maybe more than an hour.
Want to see your family again, man? You just keep cool.
what else do I have to lose?
Harper, you have the keys?
Once they took control, they were able to get to the key to get to the sensitive tools. Hacksaw blades, cutting torches, things like that that could be used to facilitate an escape.
I told Rodriguez,
You just watch them and make sure nobody's trying to get free.
because the electrical room is very sensitive. It has a whole bunch of alarms. You know, the alarms go off, one building gets, hold of it, they'll call us, hey, what's the problem?
My specific role was to prepare the truck with the secret compartment.
I had everything already cut.
While I was preparing the truck, Michael Rodriguez was assigned to keep an eye on the men that we had stuffed in the closet. And he could hear noises.
One of the officers that I specifically warned the guys about carried his knife in his boot. They did not check it.
We gotta open this door before he sets everybody free. Hurry up, man. Get that open. Come on, man. They're pushing it. Get in there.
When we were able to open the door, the captured put their backs into the door and refused us entry.
Come on, we gotta get in there now, guys. Get it open.
They were setting off the fire alarm from within.
When the fire alarm signal went off, the employee called out to maintenance.
And we were starting to panic.
Get off the door!
Newberry puts his foot in between the door jamb, gets it caught. He thought he broke his leg. This could be the point where everything fails.
What's going on? You're not gonna get out. Go man the phones!
Don't answer. It's a false alarm.
A lot of those fire alarms go off when there's too much dust collected in the sensor and things like that. That employee gets used to finding out that it's not really a fire. And silencing the alarm.
So they believed it. But I knew we had to leave. We could only do that for so long.
We just took down the whole maintenance shop building. Objective number 1 was complete. Objective number 2, take over the back gatehouse and tower.
I called the back gate and the back tower, identified myself as the maintenance supervisor, and told them
I'm gonna send a maintenance crew with a couple of inmates up to install the cameras. Okay. All right, bye-bye.
All right, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Now we're working on a timetable. We need to get control of the guard tower before any type of inspection coming back here looking for this.
Newberry and I had loaded tools and things like this into this gator, and then Rivas drove us to the back gate. Newberry and I were unloading the tools and material like we were really fixing to do some work here.
Afternoon. How you doing?
I'm all right. More cameras, eh?
Yeah, more cameras. I'm gonna put it up in the guard tower.
Rivas even had a box of donuts.
You want a donut?
Hey, thanks.
And it was offering him some donuts, you know. After a few minutes, Rivas said, you know, hey.
So I'm gonna need to get up into the tower.
No problem.
Yeah? That's great.
Head up.
Have yourself a good one.
Yeah, you too.
I yelled up there, like the officers do, and yelled,
Gate!
This was a critical point of possible failure. If we had somehow forgotten a step in the process, then the tower guard would not have allowed Rivas to go into the tower. This was it.
Gate!
As soon as I see Rivas entering the tower, I made a phone call.
Gibbs here.
May I speak to the maintenance worker, please?
He's on his way up the ladder now.
It's a long way up.
Oh, they're asking for you.
and I play the role. And I said, what do you mean?
Just left from there.
Oh, I don't know. They asked to speak to you.
I was just waiting for Rivas to let me know that he was ready to take over the tower.
Yeah, okay.
Then Halpern would signal the guardhouse. That way both takedowns happened at the same time.
We had a little code word, maximum, maximize, any combination with the word max.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Max.
Maximize. Maximum.
Just stay calm and you won't get hurt. What are you guys doing?
Either you show me how to open the picket door and vehicle gate, or I will kill you.
He complied.
Get down!
I open the gate for them. He pulls in.
Murphy comes out, he's in an officer's gear that's just deploying. The kitchen and the laundry were facing the back gate, so if anybody, any of the officers or inmates were looking, they could see what was going on, so we had to keep it as a routine.
Clear! He hollers at me, it's clear. I'll open the outer gate.
Rivas came out of the tower with a whole bunch of guns. He closed the trap door and we drove off.
Driving off, it was kind of scary in a sense.
I'm in this dark, narrow, small compartment with a loaded shotgun, wondering, are we going to get stopped? Am I going to come out of this alive or not? You know?
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
I started the Lord's Prayer. I had nothing else to do. I was like, the only thing that came to my mind was the Lord's Prayer.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day.
After I started for the second time, Rivas and Harper were in sync with me. I drove past the front tower without looking back. No gunshots were fired, so all was good.
Amen.
Every mile I put between myself and that unit in that prison, I literally felt the weight coming off my shoulders. I sat up higher in the seat, and without getting melodramatic, the air actually tasted differently.
Control tower to base. Control tower to base. We had a breakout. I don't know how many guys. They're gone.
Hello? I get the call, we've got a possible escape. They're in the process of locking down the prison. As things progress, I'm driving down in that direction. More and more information's filtering in.
Go ahead.
Then we have 7 confirmed. Getting called saying they're definitely away in a vehicle. No sense coming down here. I head over to the command center operations. If you're out there, you're gonna get caught. You can run, but you can't hide. That's the bottom line.
It is a Texas-sized manhunt with more concern than ever before.
You know, we had air searches going on, ground searches going on. It was very puzzling to us how they slipped under the radar.
George Rivas, I need a complete profile of this guy.
There's one special operations investigator assigned to each escapee.
Patrick Murphy. James?
It's his job to know absolutely everything there is to know about that individual. You know, just the small things that may make a difference later on, that have proven to make a difference later on. They were probably going to need resources. And we looked at Rivas's robberies, his prior robberies. They were all these large takedown robberies, and we knew he was leading the group. These people are creatures of habit.
I already had robbed the Noshmans, so I knew the layout, except that this store was much, much bigger. About 5 to 6 times bigger than the store I had done back in '93. My plan was to get all the weapons and all the money they had, because I knew every dollar we had was another day of freedom.
The entrance to the Oshmans is here. Now I'm gonna go in there first with Larry. We're gonna be dressed as security guards. We're gonna approach the manager with the cuttings that Garcia is cutting up now.
We looked through the newspaper, and they had this perfect assembly of kids in there. If you cut them out and you put them on a piece of paper, it looked like a wanted ad of these kids.
It's simple. Everyone just do their job and nobody gets hurt. Well, let's do it.
We knew that the store was closing at 6 p.m. I went straight into the shoe department. Rodriguez and Halpern went to the clothing. Newberry went to the sports.
I was I was observing what was going on out in the parking lot.
At 5:45, Rivas and Harper walk in.
Hey there.
Hi. What can I help you with?
I'd just like to run these names by you. See if any of these kids come into your store.
Rivas had the manager call up all employees to the front to listen about these grab-and-run suspects.
All staff to the front desk, please.
I was listening to Rivas and them on one radio, and I was listening to the police on the other radio.
All right, you guys should take a good look at these faces. Make sure you remember them.
I was ready to go. George told him, said, hey, listen, this is a stick up.
Be calm and no one gets hurt.
We're just gonna take the money, we're gonna take some goods.
We're gonna be on our way. No problems, right?
Right. Me and Newberry took him back to the break room to tie him up. The rest of the guys were outside taking the merchandise.
Quicker.
Rivas was with the manager collecting the rest of the money.
Come on. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Go over there, face down.
Contents of safe, $70,000.
Rivas took the manager's car keys, and as he was going out to the front, that's when one of the customers' girlfriend had saw George. She kind of got a little freaked because he was dressed up like one of these security guys, you know, and he had the pistol. She had never seen this before. So when George came up to her window, like, hey, you know.
Just wanna make sure everything's all right.
She just burned off. And at the same time, she was calling the cops and letting them know, hey, I just saw a man with a gun and, you know, suspicious activity going on.
Hurry up, for God's sake.
Copy that. On my way. I gotta go. See ya. See you.
Don't look at me! Look at the floor!
I contact George. I was like, hey, what's going on? He goes,
Get out. It's time to go. Get out.
We still have more people to tie up.
Get out.
I tell Newberry to get out.
Look at the floor, boys!
It's time to go. Go. I come out the door. That's when I hear pow, 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 pow.
Stop from here! What are you doing?
They're here. His eyes are all wide. He's like a ghost.
I turned the corner. I could see Rodriguez. He's trying to pull him out of the cop car that was blocking our getaway vehicle.
He won't come out!
He won't come out.
He won't come out!
Michael, he's got his seatbelt on.
Take it off! Take off his seatbelt!
He pulls him out of the car, and that's when I get in. I was just in shock. I couldn't believe what just happened.
What the hell are you doing?
These guys have lost their minds, I was thinking.
Foot!
My foot. I said, get back in the truck.
As I come up on Rivas, he's standing there holding his stomach.
He's got blood on his hand, and I'm going, oh, man. And
Just felt pain, seemed like coming from everywhere below my neck.
Get off the car! Hurry up!
as much planning as we put through, I just can't believe that, you know, it just got out of hand like that. We just left the officer who was, I just knew was dead. I knew he was dead. There was just too many gunshots.
What the hell happened? What happened? That's what happened! Yeah, look at him, look at him! I know! Who the hell shut the cop? You shut the cop! I did not! You be quiet!
He's like, calm down, guys. I don't need this. He's hurt.
I came from a... You be quiet! Shut up! You shut up! You shut up! Put a bullet in your head.
And I was like, hold up, what's going on here? All of a sudden, we had like a four-man standoff.
This far to blow our heads off now.
No, we don't need to do this here now. Not now.
I told everybody to pack everything up. We're leaving.
Bullets and broken glass still litter the ground behind the Oshman Sporting Goods store in Irving, where memorials honor Officer Aubrey Hawkins.
I knew that it was them. It was just, it was a horrible feeling. It was my job to catch these guys, and my worst nightmares realized that a fellow officer was killed, you know, because of my inability to catch him. I felt it very personally. I still to this day do.
Now it's going to be a blood hunt. If they cornered us in Texas, they would kill us.
It wasn't until Officer Hawkins' death that the case exploded. It was the largest fugitive operation in the United States. We've gone to a national and international operation now. You know, we're getting thousands of leads, thousands of them are coming in. We're coming after you, and we're coming after you until we catch you.
It's a whole new ballgame now. I knew that it was over. Most likely they caught us. It was going to be the death sentence.
So now it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, Johnson's on that. He'll handle it.
A call came in. They had received some information from the sheriff up in Colorado. An individual had gone in saying that they were in a trailer park up there.
They pulled in a Suburban, told me that they were looking for a site, which is typical. They told me they were Christian men coming back from a mission. They were from Texas.
Thank you.
I couldn't believe they were here. I couldn't believe they were all together. And I wanted to make sure that we actually did have the Texas 7.
And we got off pretty lucky considering it. Heads up, guys. We're gonna try to get rid of this guy.
All right, do it quick.
So I went over and got Harper and made an arrangement with him.
Hey, Brother Jim.
Hey, Brother Wade, how are you?
Bible study at 10 tomorrow?
I am looking forward to it, Brother Wade. I'll be there.
But as I was doing, I was trying to study his face or anything that might be out of the ordinary that we could make sure that we had exactly who we were looking for.
There's a couple passages I want to run by you.
Beautiful.
There was a little mole by his eyebrow.
I can't wait. God bless you.
Okay.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
See you then.
I contacted the investigator assigned to Harper, and he said, yeah, he has a pinpoint mole.
Boss, I think we got one.
It didn't show up on any prison records. It was through the interviews that this investigator did with the family. Coupled with the information that they were a traveling group of Christians doing Bible study work from Texas, you know, it started looking better. The Colorado Springs SWAT teams were in place, ready to go first thing in the morning.
From the point I was given command of the operation, I wanted to be able to influence the action, so I didn't want this to get away from me. My primary concern was that they would get wind of our presence and would infiltrate into the community and take a hostage, and time was not on my side. Wade Holder had told us that Brother Jim, who turned out to be Harper, was going to come down in the morning for a prayer meeting. So I wanted people ready to go at a moment's notice. If I tell you to go, you got to go. Meet these men with overwhelming force.
The day started off just as any other in the RV. Patrick Murphy and Donald Newbury were off in Colorado Springs for a few days trying to obtain IDs for us. Staying in the RV was myself, Michael Rodriguez, Joseph Garcia, Larry Harper, and George Rivas.
It was very hard waiting because the time that Brother Jim was supposed to come down for his Bible study came and went.
As we sat here waiting for Harper, and he didn't come down, I told these guys that, look, I can go up there and let them know that maybe we ran out of water. We can find out where people are.
And I discussed that with him, and I made the decision that he could pull it off.
Rivas came out. I didn't have to knock on their door. I told them that we were running out of water.
Hey, is Brother Jim up yet? He was going to come to Bible study.
And I asked him, you know, where Harper was, and he said he had got up a little bit late.
No, he was just finishing showering. He'll be,
Oh, yeah?
Wade stopped by to see if we were all right.
How about you guys? You got anything special planned for today?
He asked where the guys were headed to.
We're gonna go to the town, get some parts for the Cherokee.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
After Rivas left, it was just me and Harper in the RV. I made Harper and me some breakfast. Eggs and sausage.
I had less than a minute to decide whether to take them with the SWAT team members that were there, not let them leave the trailer park, or let them leave the trailer park and put the mobile assault option in place and let El Paso County take them down. There were residents in the surrounding trailers, and I didn't know how far the rounds would go once the shootout started. I made the decision to let them go and rely on El Paso County to do the mobile assault.
There's a couple things going through my mind. The Texas 7 members have already showed their willingness to kill. They killed a police officer in a very brutal fashion. One of your biggest fears that you face is the safety of your people.
Vehicle approaching. Go!
Forgive us our trespasses. I think that's my favorite passage in this book.
Yeah.
We had units as close as 15, 20 meters, and as far out as 50. Every opening, every window was covered.
I don't know, I just kind of know how, I guess.
Make somebody a good wife.
We're in position.
The negotiator begins trying to bullhorn the RV.
Come out! No one's been hurt yet. Best thing to do is just surrender.
Christ, man. What the hell happened? They got us.
Come out!
He asks them to come out. There's no response.
Harper started scrambling, grabbing guns, loading them. I didn't know what to do.
This ain't fair, Larry.
I don't know, Randy. Maybe it is fair.
Best thing to do is just surrender.
I think it's over, buddy.
Larry came up to me and said,
"What are you gonna do?"
I looked at him in defeat.
I can't hurt anybody.
I was gonna surrender.
I can't hurt anybody either. Not anymore.
It was clear he wasn't going back.
Come out! No one's been hurt. Best thing to do is just surrender.
After a period of about 10 minutes, the door opens and Halperin says he's coming out.
I'm coming out! Turn around! I'm unarmed! Turn around! I'm unarmed! Back to the sound of my voice!
Just keep repeating that, back to the sound of my voice, back to the sound of my voice. And then he's put on his knees, he's cuffed, and he's taken away. Harper's inside with a lot of weapons, not coming out, no intention of surrendering. I heard what was very clearly a gunshot. He had either killed himself or was firing rounds in the trailer in frustration. After about 20 minutes, no response, and we determined we had to make entry. Once the door popped, I threw a stun grenade inside. Harper was laying on his back in the hallway of the RV. He appears to be dead.
Cuff him anyway.
I told one of the team members to handcuff him. And in the bathroom was a Bible. The Bible was open to a passage, and there was a note written to Harper's parents. The note essentially apologized for the murder of Aubrey Hawkins. I made that call to the El Paso SWAT team leader to do the mobile assault.
The decision was made. We're gonna move forward on our mobile takedown. We're going after that vehicle.
I pulled to the gas station because I saw a vehicle, a state trooper, parked at the intersection right there in front of the gas station. So I pulled in hoping he would drive off in front of us.
George?
Our SWAT team had deployed out of the van and taken up positions around this vehicle.
Hands up! Don't move! Hands up! Hands up! Hands so I can see him! Get out of the area! Get back!
I can assure you that deadly force would have been imminent.
Out of the car. We have a weapon! We have a weapon! Down on the ground.
They pulled the right rear passenger out of the car.
And I hear all the shotguns and the submachine guns being cocked.
The passenger was moving his fingers like this. And I remember thinking to myself, what is this guy doing?
I thought, well, maybe it's just better to die. I could see this, death row. I can see it. I know it was coming. Why go through that, I mean, my whole deal of escaping was to be free.
It was like just time had froze and we were in this standoff.
Don't do it! If you're gonna move, I'm gonna shoot!
Pulled open, another SWAT member grabbed him.
Out of the car now! On the ground!
Heartbroken. I know that I'm going to be dragged back to Texas. I knew I would be convicted and sentenced to death. Of course, I'm always going to regret the death of Mr. Hawkins, and then later, of course, Larry, and now Michael Rodriguez. And 3 other of my friends now are facing death as well, of course. So, of course, I feel responsible for all of them. But the escape itself, on a personal level, I cannot regret.